It is now time for me to welcome the Deputy Minister for Infrastructure and Transport, Mr. Giannis Kefalogiannis, who I see now next to me on the screen, and I will be delighted to give him the PIN Award for 2021. Congratulations, dear Minister. I'm sure that you can hear all the virtual congratulations and applauses from the colleagues who are attending the conference. But now, without further ado, I'm sure they will all be eager to hear from you. So I'm delighted to give you the floor for a presentation. And just let me inform once again participants that through the Q&A button in the Zoom panel, they can ask questions to the Minister. Dear Deputy Minister, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Dear Executive Director Avenozo, dear European Coordination for Road Safety and Sustainable Mobility, Mr. Baldwin, dear colleague Mrs. Kudura, ladies and gentlemen, at the outset, I would like to thank the European Transport Safety Council for granting us this award to Greece. It is a great honor to us and a major accomplishment of utmost importance for two main reasons. First of all, because traffic accidents have always been one of the leading causes of death in Greece, and we are proud to have taken steps towards changing this. And secondly, because this significant reduction in the number of fatalities ties with the kick-off the National Strategic Plan for Road Safety, presented a few months ago by Prime Minister Mitsotakis, signifying one of the Greek government priorities. My intention today is not only to talk over what we've done to achieve the highest performance in the European Union over the past decade, I would also like to point out what we have already started in order to further improve road safety in Greece, adopting the Vision Zero approach. It's the first time ever that the country translates its commitment to improve the level of road safety into specific legislative initiatives, administrative actions, and a pipeline of projects. As mentioned before, Greece has marked the highest reduction in number of fatalities in the period 2010-2020. And it is the only European country that achieved a reduction by more than 50%, in fact, 54%. Let me highlight the key factors that led to the positive outcome. Much better road network thanks to the construction of new motorways, where fatalities are almost zero, such as Aegean Motorway, Tempi Platamonas section, Corinthos Patras, Antirio Ioannina, Tripoli Kalamata, and Lefkos Sparti, E65, Skylida and Vonica bypasses. Important interventions to improve road safety levels such as Pathé Motorway, this is Athens-Lamia section, Northern Crete road access. Newer and safer vehicles, reduced traffic road due to the increase in fuel prices and decrease in the available income in the last decade. Reduction of average speed to avoid economic burden. Decreased traffic in 2020 due to COVID-19 outbreak. Nevertheless, we still have a fairly high fatality rate per million population, well above the European average based on the latest figures. 54 fatalities per million population compared to 42 in the EU. You already mentioned it. If someone takes a look at the figures, road accidents cost translate into 1.5% of the country's GDP. That is why any financial investment in road safety measures is an investment in human life, which is priceless. No doubt for that. In this context, we adapt our perspective for road safety and we adopt the safe system approach, acknowledging that the human error is inevitable. There are four basic principles for that. People will always make mistakes that lead to road accidents. Take this into account in the design and operation of a road system. When the mistake occurs, The human body has standard limits to absorb the forces of an accident without being injured. Road safety will come through the common responsibility of all parts of a road system and not just the user. All parties involved must work together to ensure that the accident does not result in serious injury or death. International experience suggests that successful road safety strategy should focus on 5 components. First of all, reliable and quality data. Governance, strategic plan and targeting, education and coherent communication strategy, effective system of enforcing traffic rules, and safe road network. Good data quality save lives. Road safety public policies should be based on good quality data. Unfortunately, we do not have that, at least to the extent we need it. If we try to break down a car accident in Greece, we understand that the vast majority involve men at the age of 25, 49, who drive mainly a car and move on urban roads. The accidents show seasonality between July and October, while most of the injured are admitted to hospitals in the afternoon and on weekends. But what we do not know about car accidents in Greece is how many and what type of road accidents occurred last summer, for example, in Corfu or Santorini or in Crete Island. What is the reaction time of post-crash emergency units per region? Is there a map with the recurrence or accumulation of road accidents in some areas of the country or throughout the country? What percentage of motorcyclists and cyclists wear helmets? To address the above, we're currently working on the establishment of a national observatory for road safety. It will be operated by the National Technical University of Athens through a framework contract with the Ministry of Infrastructure and Transport. It will be responsible for collecting, processing, and maintaining a national road safety database, and it will publish an annual report on road safety statistics, figures of which will be endorsed by the Hellenic Statistical Authority. In addition, aiming to the collection of key performance indicators, KPIs, for road safety, another contract is to be signed with the National Technical University of Athens for a co-financed project entitled Baseline Project. Second pillar of our strategy, governance, strategic plan, and targeting. An efficient results-focused system of governance is essential for our target to eliminate fatalities. Consider a pyramid structure: Intergovernmental Road Safety Committee, Executive Committee, regional and local authorities, and of course, civil society. The Intergovernmental Committee, in which I have the honor to be the chair, convened last week with the participation of 5 deputy ministers and secretaries general. It will coordinate the interministerial work on road safety, approve forecasts, and supervise the implementation of the strategic plan, evaluate the strategic plan results, and, if necessary, proceed with its revision. The main working tool will be the National Road Safety Strategic Plan 2021-2030, a study that has already been awarded by the Ministry of Infrastructure and Transport. The Executive Committee implements the decision of the Intergovernmental Committee and welcomes proposals from regional and local authorities and civil society. The regional local authorities implement sustainable urban mobility plans in their area of competence, which must include road safety projects in accordance with the law on SUMPs passed by the Greek Parliament in March. Civil society has a crucial role to play. Its actions will be evaluated on a case-by-case basis and will be integrated into a coherent plan to serve the main goal of reducing serious injuries and deaths from road accidents. Third pillar of our plan, education and coherent communication strategy. In collaboration with the Ministry of Education, the road safety module was introduced as a pilot course in the skills workshops in 2020-21 in 218 kindergartens, primary and secondary schools. From the academic year 2021-2022 onwards, it will be taught in all school units, which is approximately 12,000. At the same time, our ministry drafts new training manuals for the driving license theory exams of candidate drivers, as we set a new overall examination procedure. Please also note that inter alia, a special educational handbook is provided for the first time for people who have not completed compulsory education, people with learning disabilities, people with hearing problems. We also need to define new minimum requirements for practicing the profession of a driving instructor, such as minimum age for practicing the profession, minimum duration of possession of the driving license for all categories, new training standards. Furthermore, we need a national communication policy plan for road safety. This will be done through targeted and coherent communication actions, including the media, the content, the period, and the place. Fourth pillar of our strategic plan, effective enforcement system. The Ministry of Infrastructure and Transport has completed the evaluation of the Highway Code and is proceeding with its revision based on certain principles. Categorization of Highway Code violations based on the degree of risk and frequency, separation of sanctions, the basic criterion being the driving behavior or the vehicle condition, reduction of average speed in urban areas to 30 kilometers per hour, ensuring enforcement and collection of fines, introduction of an electronic procedure for monitoring the violations of Highway Code. Few more words about the categorization of Highway Code violations. All violations will be classified based on the associated risk and frequency, while specific fines will be combined with administrative sanctions. Emphasis will be given to the 5 most frequent violations of Highway Code, such as speeding, no seatbelt use, no helmet use, driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs, mobile phone use. In cooperation with the Ministry of Citizen Protection, we will also set priorities for the frequency of checks and their geographical distribution. Enforcement of fines also depends on the vehicle condition and the driving behavior. We need more safe vehicles, and we have already established a register of vehicle technical inspectors comprising private engineers to carry out an on-the-spot re-inspection at the vehicle inspection center. What is more, we have decided to reduce average speed in urban areas to 30 kilometers per hour. And you may ask why. So let's see. Increasing the speed of a vehicle by 5% leads to an increase in road accidents by 10% and fatal accidents by 20%. When a car is moving at a speed of 30 kilometers per hour, the probability of a fatal injury for a pedestrian is 10%. If the same car is moving at 50 kilometers per hour, the probability of the same fatal injury to the pedestrian rises to 80%. So, at 50 kilometers per hour, the collision with a pedestrian can prove to be 80% deadly. On top of that, we proceed with the digital verification and registration of Highway Code violations to increase the revenues of local authorities that will be then channeled to road safety projects. In addition, road behavior of repeating offenders is planned to be also digitally managed. The message to be sent is that impunity is not part of the game anymore. Fifth pillar, safe road network. The Ministry of Infrastructure and Transport is running an extensive road safety interventions program, including 7,000 hazardous locations in 2,500 kilometers, 80 road exits, 60 studies in all 13 regions of Greece, a loan agreement of 450 million with Egnatia Odos SA with the support of the European Investment Bank. Our existing road network is constantly being improved by constructing new, modern and safe motorways, such as Patra Pyrgos, E65, the north part, VOAC, extensions of Attiki Odos, flyover in Thessaloniki. Dear country, the road safety contract is based on safe roads, responsible drivers, traffic education, and fair rules for everyone. The prize is not the end of our efforts, but a starting point to save more lives, to achieve the goal of reducing the number of fatalities and seriously injured by an additional 50% in 2030, and to reach zero fatalities in 2050. This is our Vision Zero. The goal may seem difficult to accomplish, but I guess we all agree it is worth trying. Dedicated work and comprehensive plans can only add to better road safety performance. Thank you all for your attention.
Thank you very much, dear Deputy Minister. Very interesting presentation. We have a few questions, if you don't mind. The first one actually is mine, while we collect the ones that are coming from the audience. I mean, you mentioned, and that's extremely interesting, the setting up of a national road safety observatory, which is great, great news. But my question is, how will you make sure that the data, the recommendations of the observatory are implemented, are put into practice afterwards?
Thank you for the question. The idea behind that is that it's not merely set up the National Observatory for Road Safety. What is more important is that we have decided to establish it by law. The data, the conclusions, and any proposals of the observatory will be assessed by the Intergovernmental Committee as part of its agenda. So in this context, the goal is to formalize our goals for road safety on an annual basis. And we believe that by this way, all these idea behind National Observatory for Road Safety will be taken into account in decision making.
Thank you. There is a question from a colleague that is linked to the very interesting point you made on enforcement and to ending up the sense of impunity. It's a specific one on enforcement of motorcycle helmets. It is felt that Greece should step up the enforcement of motorcycle helmet use, especially when it comes to heavier motorbikes.
In fact, it's our will to move forward with all the enforcement of the Highway Code, and of course we will include such provisions. As I referred to you previously, we're under examination of the current Highway Code, and of course we will take into account and into consideration all these provisions. So again, I will want to restate our willingness to move forward in order to have fair rules for all. And when we mean fair rules for all, this means for the users of the highways, the pedestrians, and of course all people who are in mobility.
Yeah. Well, thanks. You actually your answer also links to the next question which I have received, because it talks about vulnerable road users, how to lower the risk posed to vulnerable road users by heavy goods vehicles, especially in cities.
As I referred before, I mean, Greece intends to reduce 30 kilometers per hour speed limits in zones in the cities. And as I told you before, we have followed LD's guidelines in the legislation, for example, for sustainable urban mobility plans. And of course, these mobility plans will be mandatory for towns and cities that have more than 30,000 people. And all sustainable mobility plans must provide for road safety projects. And of course, part of these projects will be reducing the speed limit to 30 kilometers per hour. And I think this will be a very good point in order to protect most vulnerable people, and especially pedestrians.
Yeah. I have a question also from a colleague from Greece, Vasiliki Danelli Milona, and she's asking about the role of civil society in implementing the strategy. What is, in your opinion, the role of civil society in making sure that progress is made?
As I referred previously, we want all actors responsible for road safety to be together and to ensure that they were all working towards the same goal. What we've seen is that the lack of a central governance system led to the need to establish, first of all, the Intergovernmental Committee on Road Safety, which is a permanent body responsible for monitoring the implementation of actions and projects. But apart from that, as I previously referred to the pyramid shape of governance, that includes not only the governmental committee, but also the executive committee, the local and regional authorities, and of course, civil society, all constituting an undivided system of synergies. And of course, civil society has a very crucial role to play.
Okay, we're almost there. I have another one which I cannot not ask. It's very interesting. You mentioned investments, you mentioned funding, and how will Greece do to dedicate funding and direct income to road safety? Because here they insist road safety is an investment rather than a cost.
No, frankly speaking, resources has never been a problem for road safety in Greece. Just to give you an idea, we have already an approved by the European Commission Recovery and Resilience Facility Program. It was approved yesterday for Greece. That includes also provisions for road safety funds. There are also EU funds on the table, and of course, revenues from fines coming from violations of the highway code. To the contrary, the actual problem has been the lack of a coherent and comprehensive plan comprising clear-cut actions, and of course, the lack of a standing committee to coordinate this work. And this is the gap that we intend to bridge.
Well, thank you very much, dear Minister. Before I let you go, we've been really new with our questions, but maybe you have another message, something that you want to say to other countries after having reached the prestigious PIN award. Any recommendation on how to get that?
In fact, as I referred to my speech, although the goal may be topical, we need to enforce our efforts to improve our efforts in order to achieve this goal. And we believe that this goal will come out of very hard work of all stakeholders, not only in a national level, but also in a European level. And I think this is maybe the best way to achieve this great goal.
Thank you very much. Before I let you go, can you please take the award again so that we can have a picture for the records?
Of course.
There you go. When my colleagues are ready. Fantastic. Well, Deputy Minister, congratulations again. Thank you very much. And we wish you all the very best in continuing the hard work in road safety and saving human lives. Thank you very much.
Thank you again.
Thank you.